Right now, if you feel cold, you just put on a jacket. If that's not enough, you turn on a heater. And if the weather gets too bad, you simply don't go outside at all. But for a moment, forget all of that. Imagine this. You're standing in the merciless frozen plains of the Arctic, thousands of years ago. As far as your eyes can see, there's nothing but white snow. The temperature has dropped to 50 degrees below zero. Around you, there isn't a single tree, no stone, no wood, nothing you could use to build even the simplest shelter. Every passing moment is stealing heat from your body. The icy wind is cutting straight across your face. Night is closing in fast. And you know, if you don't find shelter before the sun disappears, you might never see another sunrise. Now, there's only one thing left. You look down at your feet. Just snow. Snow everywhere you look. It sounds insane. The very thing we think of as the symbol of cold. Could that same thing actually save a human life? Here's what's remarkable. For thousands of years, people of the Arctic built their entire survival around exactly this. They built shelters that could keep life safe inside, even while 50 degrees below zero raged just outside the walls. So how could something made entirely of snow protect a person from the snow itself? And that secret became one of the most astonishing survival techniques in human history. Let's find out how ancient humans turned snow, their greatest enemy, into their strongest protector.
The first thing you need to understand is something strange. Cold isn't actually a thing that attacks you. What's really happening is your own body constantly losing heat into everything around it. The more heat you lose, the colder you feel. So for you, standing here in the Arctic, survival was never really about blocking the cold. It was about stopping your own body's warmth from escaping into the endless white around you. And somehow, ancient hunters figured out that snow, the very thing surrounding you on every side, could actually do exactly that. But only if you understood it. Not all snow was the same. You look at the soft, powdery snow beneath your feet. It looks perfect for building. It isn't. That soft, fresh snow is almost entirely trapped air, more air than snow. Air traps warmth beautifully, but that same softness makes it far too weak to build anything sturdy with. Try to stack it and it simply collapses in your hands. Then there's solid ice, hard as stone. It blocks the wind perfectly, but it's heavy, brutal to cut, and nearly impossible to shape with the tools you're carrying. So you learn, the way generations before you learned, to search for something in between. Snow that the wind itself had already packed down, dense enough to hold its shape, but still filled with enough trapped air to keep you warm. You don't shape it with your hands. You cut it straight out of the frozen ground in solid blocks, testing the weight and density with nothing but instinct. The same instinct passed down to you from your parents and their parents before them. Choosing wrong here isn't a small mistake. The wrong snow means a wall that could collapse in the middle of the night. Or worse, one that lets the deadly cold pour straight through, as if the wall was never there at all. This isn't guesswork, it's knowledge earned through survival, refined by your people over thousands of years. But knowing which snow to cut is only the first problem. Because now you have to build something that won't simply collapse under its own weight.
Picture what you're about to build. Most people imagine a simple dome, like half a ball resting on the ground. That's not what you're building at all. If someone were to slice your finished shelter in half, they'd see a very different shape, one that curves gradually inward, almost like a chain hanging loosely between two hands. You didn't choose this shape for decoration. You chose it because it survives. That particular curve spreads the weight of the snow evenly across the entire structure, instead of letting it push down hard in just one place. It's one of the strongest shapes found anywhere in nature, strong enough to hold firm under heavy snowfall, without bulging, without cracking, without ever caving in on you while you sleep. Nobody handed your people a blueprint for this. It was discovered slowly, generation after generation, by watching which shelters survived brutal winters and which ones silently failed and killed the people inside them. Inside your shelter, the design gets even smarter. You don't build the entrance and the sleeping area on the same level. You carve the entrance lower and raise the sleeping platform slightly higher, because heat rises and cold always sinks. So the coldest air in your shelter drains downward toward the entrance, while the warmest air stays trapped exactly where you'll eat, sleep, and rest through the night. And there's one more secret almost nobody expects. You, sitting inside this shelter, aren't just hiding from the cold. You're part of the system keeping it warm. The heat radiating from your own body slowly melts the innermost layer of snow around you. That thin layer of melted snow refreezes almost immediately into smooth, solid ice, sealing the walls tighter, making the barrier between you and the deadly cold outside even stronger than before. The longer you stay inside, the more powerful your shelter becomes. But there's still one question left. Just how warm can a shelter built entirely from snow actually get? Here's the part that sounds almost impossible. Outside, the temperature is 50 degrees below zero, deadly, fast enough to kill you within a few unprotected hours. But inside your shelter, using nothing but your own body heat and a small flame for light, the temperature can rise 40 to 60 degrees warmer than the world outside. No fire strong enough to matter. No modern insulation, nothing but compressed snow, and a shape your people learned to trust with their lives. And if someone else shares this shelter with you tonight, it warms even faster, because every extra person adds more heat into a space built specifically to trap it. Long before anyone understood the science behind heat, insulation, or air, your people had already solved this problem, through nothing but watching, failing, and trying again. You'd watch the animals do it first. Polar bears digging deep into snow burrows, birds tunneling beneath it just to survive the night. Even plants relying on a blanket of snow to keep from freezing underground. And your people took that same idea and built an entire way of life around it. Snow, the very thing that could have ended your life tonight, becomes the exact thing that saves it. This wasn't luck. It was thousands of years of careful observation, passed down from one generation to the next, refined until it became one of the most brilliant survival technologies your species would ever create. And it all began with one simple, strange realization, that sometimes the coldest thing on Earth can be exactly what keeps you alive. If you enjoyed uncovering this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Because history is full of secrets hidden in the most unexpected places. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.